So yesterday I made a video about Volition being shut down and why I think that may have happened. And most OG fans will tell you that it's the fault of Saints Row 3, right? Saints Row 1 and 2 are these gangster games, these serious crime games, and Saints Row 3 and 4 and then the reboot, they took this drastic turn. And the reason I hear cited most for that is because of this term, GTA clone, of it being called a GTA clone, and that the devs or whoever that demoralized them, so they decided to take a hard turn to not be compared to GTA. Even though, as most Saints Row fans will tell you, what they had on their hands was great. And to be honest, I don't think being a GTA clone is an awful thing, right? This might sound crazy, but I was actually going through my Twitter the other day, and this post is actually why I'm making this whole video in the first place. I was working on other stuff. This post right here, be on the screen right now, says, "Oh no, GTA sometimes has interesting characters and stories. We hate being compared to them. Make it wackier. I mean, I want Mexican wrestlers to find a boss." And this kind of shows my entire point, right to the point where I even posted it on the YouTube community tab, because they're so afraid of being called a GTA clone. But yet, look, genuinely, just look at GTA. I'm pretty sure GTA is the most lucrative game franchise, or maybe even media franchise, I could have swore I heard at some point, of all time. It is... Look, GTA's 10th anniversary was like yesterday, and they're making billions of dollars off this game. GTA is outselling games that... Years later, it's outselling multiple games, still. And Volition being compared, Volition's work with a fraction of the budget being compared to GTA? Now, I'll admit 100% that it wasn't meant as a compliment, but Saints Row fans know that if they stayed their course with something like Saints Row 2, right, a modern-day Saints Row 2, it would be incredible. And the reason why the reboot was so meaningful and so important to a lot of people is because GTA was basically on a hiatus. People needed to scratch that GTA or that open world crime itch. So if we had something even comparable to Saints Row 2, it probably would have done really well. At least revitalized the franchise. The crazy thing is, the reboot has some signs that it could do well, like the character customization. I think the reboot's character customization, it isn't comparable to Saints Row 2, but it's still good. The open world is a step up from Saints Row 3, but then they want to change up the story and do all this nonsense. The game came out poorly and all that, so we know what happened with the reboot. But it's not just the reboot. Like I said, most people attribute the fall of Saints Row to Saints Row 3 and 4 changing direction. And the post I just read off was about Saints Row. And the funniest thing about something I don't hear a lot of people mention is that despite Saints Row 3 and 4 being a response to being called a GTA clone, it still gets compared to GTA. It just gets called GTA's wackier cousin, or a wackier, more satirical version of, what, guess what? Not Sonic, not Resident Evil, GTA. YouTubers and commentators and whatever that I know aren't that big of Saints Row fans, they'll still compare it to GTA. They'll say, oh, it's a wacky, like, they would have gotten to, their knowledge of Saints Row begun and end with, like, 3 and 4, and they'll compare it to GTA still. Oh, it was a more satirical version of GTA, it criticized GTA, blah, blah, blah. GTA will still be in the conversation. Right? You're making a game like this, GTA will still be compared. So unless you want to make a completely different game franchise, which 100% I think they did. I think they straight up did. But unless you want to make a completely different game franchise, just go with it, right? Don't listen to the people who really don't care about your franchise outside the surface level. Listen to your fans. Like, actually, let me use an example that some of you may be familiar with. So my channel, if you go back, my most popular videos are related to Sonic the Hedgehog, right? Classic Sonic the Hedgehog games. Imagine if Sonic the Hedgehog got called a Mario clone, which I'm pretty sure has happened 100%. Imagine if Sonic franchise got called a Mario clone once and then, like, dipped. And I don't know, made it a treasure hunting game or some nonsense. No, they went with it. Matter of fact, hold on. Back in the day, in Saints Row 2 commercials, they straight up made fun of GTA. This is Saints Row 2 now. They went with the whole GTA comparison. And were like, do you want to go bowling? Or do you want to spray buildings with a septic truck? And Sonic back in the 90s, they did the same thing to like Nintendo and Mario. Like, the idea of being so scared of being a clone of something, especially something as successful and loved as GTA, is kind of insane to me. There are so many games you could say is a clone of each other. But guess what? GTA games are great. Saints Row games are great. Anyways, yeah, Saints Row games are great. Let's just say that, no, with an asterisk, right? GTA is great. Saints Row is great. What's the problem with more of a great thing? I don't get it. Like, so going back to this post, GTA sometimes has interesting characters and stories. Like, were they really afraid of having a story that was taken seriously and likable characters? Were they really afraid of being a crime drama game? I just don't get it. Anyways, this wasn't really supposed to be that long of a video or nothing. I just made this off rip because last night I found this post and wanted to share my thoughts on it. And again, I want to make it very clear. I like Saints Row 3, I like Saints Row 4, I'm not crapping on them. But I think it would have paid off to continue what they had going with Saints Row 1 and 2. Especially now that GTA is basically, they're basically only focusing on GTA Online, right? Like, again, the 10-year anniversary! The 10-year anniversary of GTA 5 just passed. And there hasn't even been an announcement for GTA 6. Like, why should Rockstar have a monopoly on open world crime game? Why should one company have a monopoly, essentially, on an entire franchise? I mean, on an entire genre. Like, imagine if nobody made a shooter game because Call of Duty exists. Or if nobody tried doing a battle royale because of Fortnite. Heck, I've done a couple Resident Evil videos. Imagine if nobody did a third-person over-the-shoulder shooter like Resident Evil 4 because Capcom had did it first. Like, come on, that's dumb. So having a few surface-level similarities that would probably be inevitable if you're making a game in the same genre, that doesn't mean you're a clone of something. That means you're similar. GTA and Saints Row, they have their own appeals, right? Again, there's a reason Saints Row fans want another Saints Row 2 and aren't just playing GTA 5. Or heck, maybe they did play GTA 5, but the game's been out for 10 years, they haven't made a new one. Now they want either game to show up and give them a good time. Saints Row has fun activities, a great open world, fantastic customization, and a consistent story across multiple games. And by that I mean, like, GTA San Andreas. I like GTA San Andreas, but there's no other game I can follow Carl Johnson and Grove Street in. Meanwhile, I'm following the 3rd Street Saints, regardless of how wacky they are, from Saints Row 1, 2, 3, 4, until the reboot. There's an appeal there. One that is unique to Saints Row. And the thing is, they know this, bruh. They know, like, in the era of Saints Row 2, they would compare GTA 4 and Saints Row 2 in commercials, making fun of them. So, back then, I guess they weren't too scared of the GTA label, but maybe someone higher up, again, the video yesterday, Flippy said that Deep Silver wanted to change the whole thing around, but Volition wanted a Saints Row 2.5, whatever, so maybe it's similar shenanigans here. But regardless, the point is that someone was in charge, and someone either greenlit or actively advocated for Saints Row 3, 4, and the reboot. And we got them instead of another good open world crime game. And I don't see how these would be I genuinely don't see how they saw this as a money decision. Because again, GTA, most successful game franchise, right? There are franchises which have no problem copying, well, I don't want to call it copying, but no problem implementing Battle Royale when that wasn't the point of the franchise. So, Saints Row being scared, Saints Row, which is still unique and original in its own way, even the first 2 ones, being so afraid of being called a GTA clone, you know, the most successful game franchise. I don't get it. I'm gonna lose my mind. But anyways, this was just supposed to be a little side video. There may be some audio issues because I'm not in the best setting right now. My bus got canceled, so I'm sitting at home, got extra time on my hands, so I decided, hey, let's just pump this one out, right, based off the community post I shared last night. So, there'll be another video today. It might be Saints Row, it might be Dragon Ball. Regardless, I'm Jack Keck. Peace out. Oh, actually, one more thing. Check out my Discord server because I do have some previews and actual releases for Saints Row 1 mods in there. And I have given away Saints Row games before. Like, you can check there, and there is a Saints Row 2 code someone claimed in there. So, if you're interested, just give it a look. And I also do have a Twitter, but I don't really care about Twitter. So, anyways, peace out. Bye.